I wish we had bought a house in this kind of market. We bought this house about 3 years ago now, near the peak of our market here in Victoria. Not right at the peak, but around that kind of crazy time when interest rates were at their all-time lows and there was so much demand. And it was the norm in that time to be having 5 to 20 other offers that you were competing with on a house. And we actually lost out on 2 houses before we secured this one, even though we were writing very strong unconditional offers, sometimes for $200,000 over asking or $300,000 over asking, and they still weren't getting accepted because somebody else was prepared to pay $350,000 over asking or $400,000 over asking. So it was not a fun time to be buying a house, even as a realtor, even though I had all of the information I needed to make really informed decisions. It still just boiled down to money at the end of the day. So this house has been a great fit for us. We've been able to pour some sweat equity into it so far for the years that we have had it. And although it doesn't tick all of our boxes, we had to look for opportunities in a market like that where we could find something to get in. There was definitely a few times where I had a pep talk with myself to be like, you know what, maybe it's better to just put the home search on pause for right now. Maybe we just rent for a while. But at the end of the day, you do just sometimes feel like you want to keep moving forward with your life. And I knew that I was wanting to start IVF treatment. I was 38 years old and my clock was ticking a little bit. I wanted to start nesting. And so I did really feel this inner compelled drive to just get into the market, feel settled, so I could start that next chapter of my life. Fast forward to 3 years later, we now have a 19-month-old son who is the light of our lives, and I'm really glad I made that decision. Some people may have the ability to really just try and time the market to get this perfect point in the market where interest rates might be lower, competition might be lower, there's a lot of properties for sale, but I would say most people don't have that kind of flexibility. Most people just want to move forward with their lives when the timing feels right. Life is too short, I think anyways, to continually hit pause and play the what if game. What if prices go down? What if prices go up? Really, nobody knows exactly how things are going to play out in the longer term. Richard and I have bought and sold 3 properties in the last 4 years, and there's definitely a few things that we have learned. And one is that I really don't think you can time the market. If you manage to time the market just perfectly, there is a lot of luck that I believe plays into that. And we know that when we sold our vacation rental investment property down in Costa Rica about 4 years ago now, that was right at the beginning of COVID. And when we closed on that property, we thought we had like a little celebratory moment because we were so happy to offload that property because we thought it was going to be the start of a very big downturn in the market. And of course, that is not what happened. The exact opposite happened. That property would be worth quite a bit more today. But hindsight's a beautiful thing. And really at the end of the day, we were able to take that money from that investment property and transfer it into our house. So at the end of the day, you just got to keep focusing on your real estate journey, focus on growing it, focus on what your goals are, and move forward with your life. The reason I wish I could be a buyer in the market right now is that we have about 1,000 more listings than we did this time last year. We have the most amount of listings that we have seen in probably about 5 years. And that's a nice thing to have lots of options to choose from. Lots of properties are sitting longer. There isn't this frenzied energy in the marketplace right now. And yes, there are still some properties that are going into multiple offer situations, but those are more the rare, unique circumstances versus the norm, which is when we bought, it was just expected you were going to be competing and a bit of an unknown as to how many people you would end up competing against. Versus again, today, it is a little bit more rare. Trust me, I am fully aware that higher interest rates right now are likely hindering a lot of buyers' purchasing power. But if you can get in at the rates today, then my trusted mortgage broker will always say, marry the home and date the rate. If rates do come back down at some point, you can always refinance and lock in at a lower rate at a later date. If you're a seller in the marketplace right now, there are going to be quite a few more listings that you're going to be competing against versus this time last year. But that just really means that your pricing and your marketing needs to be absolutely top notch when you go to market, and your home needs to be making an incredible first impression. First impressions are always important when listing your home, but in the market right now, with buyers having so many other options, your home needs to look, feel, and smell its absolute best. Yes, I said smell. Smell is super, super important. To me, if I'm taking buyers out and I walk into a home that's been locked up and smells a bit musty, it is an instant turn off. Essentially, the goal is to have your house look and feel almost like a show home. You want to have your spices laid out nicely in your drawers. You want all of your nooks and crannies of your rooms to be Q-tipped, basically, for dust and debris. I learned that one from yachting. And windows clean, all of your paint work touched up. You just want it to feel spotless. Your closets can be decluttered, your pillows can be fluffed, your couches can be vacuumed. All of those little details are gonna be what sets you apart from the next person. I'm Ainsley Gower, a local real estate agent, and if you're looking to buy or sell in the Victoria area, I would love to hear from you. I would love to help you. You can get in touch with me via my contact details listed below.